Hello and welcome to day 27 of Adventures in Tarot Casting. This has been a series where I have been sharing a bunch of the boards that we create as backdrops for tarot readings. The whole purpose is to inspire you to get creative with your practice, to show you how showing up to an image or a set stage or something that you just place on the table, it doesn't have to be one of our casting boards, even though I would love that. But how casting upon a picture or a specific thing already sets like an intention for the reading. And it's always been very interesting to me to see how the cards show up, how the tools that we use show up in order to inspire a deeper message, right? So if you're following me on social media, on Instagram, Sawyer_336, on Facebook, Facebook/Sawyer's Path, you will have seen that I shared this photo over the weekend, and this image I was compelled to draw after the U.S. Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe versus Wade on Friday, channeling my anger, my sadness, my rage into a uterine snake, of course. I'm calling it like a modern Medusa because I feel like they are not just attacking what we look like on our exterior now, they are attacking what we have within, right? And Medusa, when she was attacked, the story goes that she was so beautiful that she was transformed into a gorgon and became this beast to be feared. But was it punishment or empowerment, right? So I imagine this is what Medusa's uterus would look like. I feel like this is what my uterus looks like right now because we mad. So I sat to my drawing board. I did this in Procreate. Procreate is the iPad app that I use for all of my digital drawing. I do template in another design program called Affinity Designer, but Procreate is where I do my artwork. And I use different brush tools that emulate Copic markers. So it looks very similar to what I would do with an actual Copic marker. So I just love that I can get this type of layering and artwork done. And also, you know, you can mirror it and it really just makes the whole piece come together. So that is the stage for this and how I would use, you know, when I bring it into my designer program, I already have all the templates and all the tool sizes that I would use. So I already have my card placements. And what I do is since I save those in another file, I can just bring in the card placements that I like, right? And then I can position them on the boards in a predetermined size. Like I know that these boards they're just under 12 inches. They're like 11.5 by 11.5. That's for shipping purposes and also for aesthetics. I generally choose the square layout because a lot of where I share, the profile grid looks better on a square, right? So that is just kind of the aesthetic and artwork and the planning behind this. I've got the snakes that ate the eggs, you know, kind of a new play on the snake eating its tail like an Ouroboros. And then just kind of different styles. We've got the pythons and then the viper, and then this snake eye in the center here, I feel like is also kind of a dragon, and I can't help but feel like it brings us into Game of Thrones with, you know, with Dracarys just comes to mind. I feel like I've been saying that all weekend, and if you watch that program, then you know that that is what is said when Khaleesi commands her dragons to burn shit to the ground. So that is the stage for this. So for the reading, I feel like at this point, if you've been with me through the whole month, and we are coming up to the end of the month, and just I want to thank you and just for being here, and I've loved connecting with you and hearing your comments about the boards. And for those of you who have joined from the beginning, I am just so grateful. Like, there's no reason for me to even do this if I have no community to even reach out to. Sure, I like to share these and I have all of these in our shop, but just know that I make these tools so I can use them. The fact that you might want to use them too is just a bonus. And I love that. I love seeing how you implement them into your own creative play. I cannot thank you enough. So let's just get to a sample reading on this, right? I'm going to use a single card because when I was looking at it, I felt like the single center focus is what is the main focus of the energy for today's reading. And then I'm going to have Above, I'm going to have the out-of-hand tarot tiles, and below, I'm going to have the out-of-hand tarot tiles. And these are going to be the division, right? Like the people on this side say one thing, and the people on this side say another. And then I'm going to do Lenormand here and here to help try and be the mediator and bridge the gap. And then, of course, the circles, I'm going to be using the nature portals. But again, you could use runes, crystals, small cards, like maybe you have a smaller deck, like even, you know, these are some Lenny cards that I have. They're bigger than the placements, but if that's all you have, then use what you have, you know. I don't want to be limiting to saying you only have to get us. Like there's so many amazing creators out there right now making amazing divination tools. These are just suggestions. You can use them for whatever you feel called to. I just want you to get playful and deeper with your practice. So let's find the center focus. I'm going to shuffle because I did just do a reading for my patrons. And if you are my Patreon, thank you. If you just follow my Patreon, you get access to the written reading. So that will be up in a few hours. Or depending on when you're watching this video, it's already up. But the whole point is I need to shuffle because I already used this deck today. Okay. So what is a central focus for this? What is a central focus? And we have the Three of Cups. Huh. Polar opposite from what my Patreon reading was. That's good. So the central focus for today is that Three of Cups energy, where we just want to be able to experience the joy within our community, with our friends. We want to toast to the victories, right? And right now there are people toasting this. There are people in a position of that, you know. So this is where we go, okay, well, what is it that we are coming together for? Right? So the Three of Cups is talking about coming together. In the traditional card, you have the three figures dancing around in a circle, holding their glasses up high. They're surrounded by the fruit and the pumpkins, and the sky is blue, and it feels like harvest time, which is why I drew this card this way. Going out and having brunch with some of your friends, some of your close companions, agreement, and, you know, just toasting and being like, yes, this is where we're at, right? This energy is also attributed to, let me see if I can find it in the card real quick. Oh yes, right here on the hand. I don't know if you can zoom in. So we've got the Mercury and Cancer. So that is a tarot correspondence. So it's thinking about how we feel, right? So when we really think about how we feel, we can connect with those who also are in alignment with that, right? So let's bring in some, the opposing sides. And how can we find calm in this middle ground, right? Above, I'm just going to pull three out and see what they are. So above we have the Three of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. So throw that there. And then below we have grab three. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Lovers. Just some big energies going on. I love putting them out first so that way we can talk it through. It helps with my own personal process. And, you know, I can look at them and see what messages are coming through right away. But I feel like, okay, on this side, right, we have the Three of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. So we have this idea of teamwork that will bring about the action, right? Bring about like standing and listening to this fierce leader, you know, coming together to listen to the fierce leader, and then finding yourselves like kind of feeling marked, feeling, you know, feeling a physical pain because of mental things, right? So I did the Ten of Swords as a tattoo, person getting a tattoo and somebody delivering it, but somebody getting a tattoo, because I find that a lot of times people come in when they have reached a catalyst point in their life, oftentimes to commemorate that they hit bottom and now they're never going back, right? So I need this reminder that I never want to go back there. So above, we've got this energy of being like, yeah, what I what I became engaged in, and I can't help but think of the rallies when I look at this. I see this fierce leader on the microphone, moving the crowd, getting up, and everybody hears like, yeah, we got to get together. Yeah, we got to do this. But then they're going, okay, but what marks are we really leaving? Is this really for the good? Like what, like mentally you go, okay, is it just for me, or is it for those around me? This feels kind of like a shifting point, right? And then we have the bottom cards, right? So then we have the people over here going, oh, everything's fine. And then the Tower comes in and says, well, it's not fine. Nothing is fine. And then the Lovers is showing up with new choices that we have to be making, right? So it's going, okay, well, what you thought was great and what you thought was like this lap of luxury has now been burnt to the ground. And now where do we go from here, right? So you've got this, and in the middle cup, we're going, okay, but it's a cause to celebrate, because how can this be a cause to celebrate? That we have this one crowd being like, yeah, no, I want to hurt you. I want to do this. I want to do that. And, these are clearly opposing viewpoints, right? But there's a lot of similarities, right? Because you still have this coming together to work, coming together to make a decision, feeling pain, feeling hopeful, feeling, riches. And then you've got somebody who's moving the crowd to bring about giant change. So what are we raising our glasses to? What are we actually feeling? What are we actually talking about in our circles of friends? And then when you find yourself bashing the alternate side, because that's what we do, how can we try and see it from their other point? Like, where is the middle ground? Where is the common ground in this? And that's where Lenormand can come in. And that's where I'm going to bring it in. I'm trying to not make it super political, because I'm aware that not everybody aligns with my decisions. I was talking yesterday with my mother about a conflict that I had with a friend, a dear friend, and she says, but both of you are right in the way you feel. And both of you are also wrong in the way you feel. So it really depends on what side you're standing on. We need to get out of this mindset of being on different sides and understand that no matter what we do, there is a mirror reflection, there is something that's going on, and we need to figure out how we can come together. Because at the end of the day, I think we all just want to have safety, freedoms, all those things, But again, like I said, I'm trying not to make this reading overly political, but it's really hard, especially when Medusa shows up with her uterus. So let's see, on this, we're going to do bouquet, stars, anchor, and lily. And then, so these are like little 3-card readings, and we've got the gentleman on this side, and then the mountain on this side. All right. Like that. Okay. So how do we come together when we are feeling so passionate on each side, right? We have like people saying burn it to the ground, and people saying, okay, well, let's act, let's move, let's do the thing, let's listen to my message, And when we really just want to be able to go out to brunch with our friends and pumpkin pick and not have to worry about the greater issues of the world. And you say, okay, on this side it's saying, so do that. Recognize that there's this gift. Go be with the person that you want to hang out with. Realize that your community is your anchor. The gentleman showing up, it feels like that active energy, something that's going, okay, you can still live your life and find beauty in the small things that you can anchor to, right? And sometimes that could be with your partner. Sometimes that could be with your friends. It could be with whatever it is that you feel is that gift that grounds you in the present, right? And then going forward, we realize there's so much online, so much going online, and it's a slow process. And it could be, with the lily, it often is tied to elder men, and they're saying, okay, well, we're not budging. You're not going to be able to move the mountains that we are. But you know what? They're not going to live forever. I know that sounds really morbid, but they're not. And so we have to understand that there is a prophecy. There is something written in the stars. The way we connect through the internet, the way we connect might also be a huge obstacle, because it's robbing us from being in this moment. I don't think our worlds are meant to be this big because of the internet. I can sit here in my living room talking to you wherever you are in the world. Whether you're actually tuning into the video or not, that remains to be seen. But at the heart of the matter, I just want to be able to feel this. But the whole world comes in, you know. So Lenormand is saying, look, it's going to be a slow process. We didn't chisel through the Grand Canyon in a day. The Grand Canyon was not formed overnight. The stars will always come out. The mountains will always be there. Things take time, right? And we feel this and we know this, and it feels like it's speeding up. But in the moment, then if everything is speeding up, we need to find the common ground to be able to just sit down, have a cup of conversation, have a conversation with friends, and even, you know, healthy debate comes to mind, but there's not a lot of swords energy going on here. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe there's too much assumptions going on and not enough being said. But we do have, you know, the lovers with the 10 of swords. Those are both air. And those are both, you know, just communication. So what communications have led us to this feeling of pain? What communications have led us to this desire to need change and choices? Has the words of one person burnt everything to the ground? Some would say yes, but some would say no, and some would say that it needs to be, and some might agree, but not this way. So like, there's really so much going on, and when you're feeling so much in the world, you need to find that space to be around the people who do fill your cups, right? So let's bring in some animals for this week, or for this reading, or for this day, or, you know, you never know. I get in such a mode when I talk that it just kind of goes. All right, 2 jumped out. So we have caterpillar and bat. I'm gonna throw those up there. And red panda and chipmunk. Okay, so throw those down there. And so the caterpillar talks about the changes that we're going through, the metamorphosis. Becoming something bigger means we have to dismantle our entire selves in order to find our wings. The bat talks about trusting your instincts, not insects. You can trust your insects too. Trusting your instincts and not always following what you see, but rather using that internal radar to let it guide you. Red panda, whenever I see this, for me, this card is telling me to rest. Find a spot, go get a hammock, just rest. You've been doing too much lately. And the chipmunk is saying, okay, even when you're working, when you're doing the thing that you're doing, make it playful. Find the fun spot in it, you know, because there's mischief to be had even in the most mundane things. So make it fun. So that's this reading. I will be back tomorrow with another one for you and another board. We only have a couple days left. And again, thank you for being here with me on this journey. I really hope you enjoy it. If you have comments or how you would use this board, please let me know. I do love interacting with you. So just again, thank you for being here and part of my creative divination world. Bye.